Hey, what's good, y'all? Mike Webb, I'm back. First, let me say something. You know, the questions, the comments, I appreciate that. You know, I definitely want to make sure that this type of information can add value to you. And it seems like, based on the comments and the emails, that somebody's getting something out of it. So, you know, y'all help me out. I may try to see if I can come up with some crazy name. I might call this Tidbit Tuesday Money Strategies. What do y'all think about that? Let me know. But this is really part two to the previous post that I did. And basically on that post, I was talking about how you can maximize your tax deductions to keep more money in your pocket. And I was speaking specifically to individuals who volunteer for a nonprofit organization or a qualified 501c3 organization. If you did not see the first video that I did, I'll actually post a link to it down at the bottom of this, you know, quick little blurb. And you can go check it out. That way you'll be up to speed on the conversation. But I want to speak to Octavia posted a question, and basically her question was saying, you know, let me paraphrase it. Hey, if I have not been doing that in the past, you know, taking these deductions, how can I, you know, go back and capture these deductions? So I want to answer that question, and then I want to answer a question from Anonymous. And I want to address Anonymous's question first, because I made the assumption that most people, you know, who are supporting nonprofit organizations were taking the charitable tax deduction that the IRS, you know, allows you to take. So if you have been, you know, a consistent giver or a faithful tither to your church, then at the end of the year, actually at the beginning of the tax year, when you file your taxes, prior to January 31st, that organization or all nonprofit organizations should send to you a document that actually lists how much, you know, you've been giving to that organization. But let me say this. We have in the past, you know, kept our own records just to make sure that we capture everything that we've given, because sometimes, you know, in the haste of just a busy organization, they may not actually properly document all of your giving. So whether you give by, you know, credit card online or your check stubs, whatever it is, just make sure you document it for yourself. And then when they send you a record of what you've given to them, you can match it and look at it to make sure that you have an accurate account of what you've given. But if you have not been taking that charitable tax contribution deduction, listen, you are missing out on a ton of money. You know, the objective is to pay the least amount of taxes legally that you can pay, right? So I think the actual verbiage states that it's not illegal to avoid paying taxes, meaning that you're doing it according to the IRS tax code, but it is illegal to evade paying taxes. So you hear about, you know, typically it's some huge celebrity that's evading, you know, or have charges brought against them for tax evasion. So you don't want to evade taxes. You just don't need to be paying more than your share, you know, your fair share of taxes. Now, to Octavia's point, let me get on to your question about what you can do to capture previous years where you didn't take that deduction. I have 3 things to say about that. The first thing is you want to talk to a CPA or a tax attorney to answer that question, because they are more of an authority than I am. And they may know some things that I just don't know about capturing missed opportunities, okay? The second thing is, unfortunately, you can't go back and capture, you know, missed opportunities to document mileage if you've already filed your tax returns and you didn't document the mileage. So The good news is, the third thing is, you can start right now. And especially throughout all of next year, because we're getting ready to move into 2017. But also what I want to say is this. A huge deduction that you can make or that you can take if you're volunteering for a nonprofit organization is if that organization requires you to have a certain dress code, have a certain uniform. Of course, you have to get that cleaned. Those cleaning bills, the purchases or the cost of purchasing a new outfit, new uniform, that is tax deductible in most instances under the IRS tax code. So if you're volunteering for an organization, they require you to dress a certain way. You have to go purchase clothes for that. You have to get certain clothes cleaned for the next time you wear it. That is another way to help keep your money in your pocket. Now, I am eventually going to get off into, what are the greatest tax savings that you get and why real estate investors love, the tax deductions that are associated with, being an investor in real estate, which for Donald Trump, as I mentioned briefly mentioned him rather in the previous video, he's huge. He's a real estate magnate. So he has deductions that the average American knows nothing about, and they offset your expenses. So that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to go down chase that rabbit right now. Let me say it that way. But listen, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the feedback. Again, if this information is something that you haven't heard before, repost, share it with someone else so they can find out about it. If you're looking at this on YouTube, subscribe to the page so you'll be the first, to get this kind of information, as well as I can see your comments when you post your comments there, and I can either answer that question or I can have someone from my network answer that question. The other thing is, if you're looking at this on the website, then click the subscribe button. Again, I promise you, I will not spam you. I will not share your information. But when you subscribe to the website, when I post this information on the website, you get a notification in your email. Actually, I have it set to only go out once a week or once a month. I think it's once a week, but you can control how much or how little you get. Again, I appreciate your feedback. I hope this information is beneficial, and I look forward to answering whatever questions you have, and to talk about eventually, just some other things, being financially savvy. So again, I appreciate your time.